Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. It has been a while since I have done one of these episodes and I am excited to be back. Tonight we are meeting some of the adoptable animals in Alexandria. We welcome the ever fabulous Gina Harder with the AWLA, and something cool about tonight is all of these animals have had their adoption fees prepaid, so all you need to do is set up an appointment to come visit them in person or virtually, which Gina will also tell us all about. And a little beyond that, we will be learning about the AWLA's home for the PAWLIDAYS and pet pantry events. So without further ado, let's bring Gina on. Hi Gina, how are you?
Hi, Grace. I'm doing great because my favorite thing to do is talk to you guys each month about some of our amazing adoptables. And just like you mentioned, everyone we are going to meet tonight is part of our Adopt It Forward program. What that means is a generous donor has come forward and said, I want to help these animals find their home by paying their adoption fee. And so all of them have had their adoption fees paid. We're going to talk a little bit about them and hopefully we're going to get some people excited to meet them, schedule appointments to see them, and help them find some wonderful home for the PAWLIDAYS, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yes, so I'm so excited to meet the animals.
Yes, and our first pup, and I sometimes feel like I shouldn't say this, but you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say it. He is my favorite dog at the shelter right now. He is so wonderful. He's so sweet, and he's just the cutest guy. You saw him in the cover screen. He has the best smile, and his name is Butter, and our behavior and training manager, Joe, who nobody, I think, has met before, is going to talk a little bit about Butter and what makes him so special.
All right, well, let's go ahead and meet Butter.
So working with Butter, everything that I'm doing with him are hand signals. Because he's deaf, he can't hear. So I had to try and think of a different way working with him. So basically ditched any verbal cues with him and just moved all to hand signals. So if I want to get his attention, I'll just wave my hand around, get him to me, give him a signal for touch, and then I'll give him the visual marker cue, which is me just kind of opening my hand, flashing him 5. And that takes place of the clicker. That takes place of me saying yes. That is his signal, the marker that he did the behavior that I was looking for. If I want to call him for touch, I'll just put my hand out. Him learning touch, it's a good recall, especially for him since he can't hear, I can't actually call him. So having a good touch cue is going to be what brings him to me. And then also it's a good attention getter. So that's what I can really use to get his focus onto me. And then we can start working. So what we're playing now, I call therapeutic fetch. He's real good about chasing the ball, but not the best about bringing it back, which is fine. And the idea behind it is that, one, it's an energy outlet. So it's good for the dog. It gives them something to do. But then also adding some rules to it. So having them going to a sit or going to a down first, and then throw the ball, so that way throwing the ball becomes the reward, and the continuation of the game gets to be the reward. What's important is that he gets a little bit of an energy outlet, chasing the ball, which he enjoys to do. And then if he just wants to lay down and chew on it, that's good too. So what Butter would be looking for in a new home, be somebody without other dogs, having him be the only dog in the home from what we've seen in care. And then also somebody who's just willing to continue working with him and to continue going along with his training, giving him outlets such as being able to play off leash and run around, maybe in a fenced off field or in a yard if you have one. And then also just somebody who's willing to learn how to live and work with a deaf dog, which is actually pretty easy. If you want to learn more about how to meet Butter, then visit alexandriaanimals.org/adopt.
Butter was just a happy-go-lucky little guy, wasn't he?
He is, and he's just so cute, and he's so smart. And like Joe mentioned, he's deaf, and I feel like sometimes people think that's a little concerning, but he does not let it stop him at all. He's just really smart, and I think one of the greatest things that Joe has had the opportunity to work with him on, and so has our staff and our volunteers, is figuring out how we can communicate with him so we can keep his brain occupied, we can keep him happy. He's learned so many cues already, and we're going to keep working with him on some of them until he finds his lucky family. And they will be lucky because he's such a sweet little guy, and he's just, once he gets to know you and he gets to love you, he gets really snuggly. He's adorable, and he's wonderful.
He is so cute. And I know that for some people who might be, a little hesitant or nervous about adopting a dog who is deaf, one thing that the AWLA does so well is provide long-term resources for adopters. So what would that process look like for continuing his training once he's come into the home? Say it's someone who has never owned a deaf dog, but they're willing to put in the time and the effort and they have resources. What would that process look like once they've adopted him?
So first and foremost, our team wants to answer any questions you have when you meet Butter and when you're considering adoption. So that includes what we've worked with him on so far, how he's done, things that he's been more or less successful at. And then we're going to continue to be available to you via our behavior and training hotline. So that includes Joe, who's done such a great job with him so far. We'll be available to answer questions that you have. If there's things you're not quite sure, is this normal? Is this normal for a deaf dog? We definitely want to be able to answer that. And our goal is to help set you and Butter up for success. So we just want to make sure that we're giving you the information that you need, whether it's answering questions, referring you to other resources, so that you have the information you need to feel comfortable and Butter is getting what he wants in a home environment and a family.
Yeah, well, and Butter, too, looked so smart and receptive and just fun. So what does training a deaf dog look like in comparison to training a fully able dog?
So first, you're going to talk a lot and realize while you're talking that he's not hearing you, and that's not a problem. I found when I work with him, all of a sudden I'm now getting really quiet because I'm like, oh, he can't hear me, but that's okay. So what he's relying on are visual cues. So one thing that Joe showed you is his sit command. For a dog who can hear you, you might say sit, and when you reinforce that command, they'll sit. For Butter, he uses a command that looks like that. And Butter understands that that specific command means sit. We have commands that mean touch, which is, sorry, I'm getting my hand on screen. It's an open hand right there. And he's getting treats for all of these, so it's very exciting for him to learn all of these things. Touch is a great command to teach other cues like spin or follow me. And Butter now knows, because he gets treats for those cues, that he should watch for them because they're an exciting thing. And so he's ready to learn new commands. And we mentioned earlier on, but Butter and so many other animals are looking for wonderful homes. All the animals we're going to meet tonight have had their adoption fees paid by generous donors. But over the course of the month, all of our adoptables 6 months and older have had their adoption fees prepaid by Priority Automotive as part of our Home for the PAWLIDAYS event. And that's just because we are looking for fantastic homes for all of our wonderful animals this PAWLIDAY season. And so everybody's had their adoption fee prepaid so we can help them find their home even more quickly. And we're just very excited about this because I think the happiest sight I could see come New Year's Eve would be an empty Animal Welfare League of Alexandria. And we're hoping everybody can help us with that.
Yes, let me actually go ahead and flash the poster for the Home for the PAWLIDAYS event since we just mentioned it. So there it is. And Gina, just reiterate where people can go to learn more about that.
Yeah, so if you visit alexandriaanimals.org/adopt, you will find information about all of our adoptable animals. We keep that page updated so you can see anybody who's available at any time. You can see pictures of them. Sometimes we have video view profiles, and then all of those profiles will have the link with more information on how to schedule an appointment to meet them, whether they're in our shelter facility or in foster, and also about our Home for the PAWLIDAYS event, where all of adoption fees are prepaid by Priority Automotive this month.
Awesome. All right, so we have met one prepaid adoptable animal tonight, and that was Butter the dog. So let's meet the next one. Gina, would you like to introduce them?
And in fact, we're not even meeting the next one. It's the next two. We have a bonded pair of kitties. We've got Lil Bit and Nugget, who are just super sweet. They just recently moved to a new room at the AWLA, which we're going to see them in. And these guys were really shy at first, but you would never be able to tell by this video you're about to see. And I can't even describe how cute they are, so I think we're just going to have to go and meet them. So these two are best kitty friends. We have Lil Bit and Nugget. So the one saying hi to you right now is Lil Bit. He's 2 years old. And then his best friend over here is Nugget, and he's 7 years old. Now these guys actually didn't always live together like some of our bonded pairs. They both came to the AWLA at the same time, and they were both just so shy and so scared. And it was really sad because they just weren't interacting. They weren't enjoying their time here. So we decided to put them together to see if maybe they would help each other come out of their shells a little bit, and you can see that they absolutely did. So not only did they help make each other bold and more confident, but in the process they really, really became best friends. And so we want to make sure they both go to the same home together, because we know that they are two kitties in a pod, and they're going to be most comfortable in a home together. So like I said, this is Nugget. He's 7 years old, and he's still a little shyer. Lil Bit is 2, and he's very much at that like teenager energy. You can see he's the one who keeps head bumping Nugget. He's a little more strong about it. He's the one who kind of is a little bolder at first. He loves to play with toys. Let's see, we'll do the one toy. Right now there's a lot of things going on, so he may not. But toys are definitely something he loves, including wand toy, including the laser toy. And then Nugget is just a little more cash. But one of my favorite things that they do is they just love each other so much, and they're really visible about it. And so rubbing up each other against each other like this and head bumping like that, it's just so adorable, and it shows how close they are. And once they get to know you, you're definitely going to be part of their best friend circle as well. So they used to be in a staff office. They just moved here to this room in our cat adoptions floor, and I love it because we sorted out, it was nice and organized, and they've decided to do a little redecorating, so they've really kind of restyled it on their own image. They have their bed, all their toys are all over the place, they've taken the blankets everywhere. It's not to say that they're messy kitties, they just wanted to make sure that it was comfortable for them. So both of these guys' adoption fees have been paid by a generous donor already through our Adopted Forward program, which we talked a little bit more about. So they are ready to go home right now. I think a little bit is really hamming it up for the camera because he's so ready to go home. It's not that he won't miss his friends here at the AWLA, but they know that a home and a family is exactly what's in store for them this holiday or PAWLIDAY season. So we want to help them find that. So if you're interested in learning more about these two wonderful and adorable kitties, then you can visit alexandriaanimals.org/adopt.
Oh, they were cute. And the way, so you said they were bonded, but I mean, talk about bonded. Their mannerisms were so similar. They reminded me of the Siamese cats in The Lady and the Tramp, just the way that they moved together. They were so cute. And I love to see the animals interacting with the camera. So tell us more about what we need to know about bonded pairs.
Yes, so bonded pairs, and the situations come differently for every animal. A lot of times they're animals who've lived together their entire lives. And like I said, with Lil Bit and Nugget, that wasn't exactly the case. When they came to the AWLA, they both were just not really feeling it. They weren't doing their best, and we could see that they were scared and they were stressed. And we thought, let's try something and let's give them a chance to meet each other. And not only did they thrive just interacting with another cat, but we could tell immediately that they were going to be best friends. So even though they haven't lived with each other their whole lives, they absolutely want to spend the rest of their lives together. And like you said, they are just so in sync. It's startling to believe that they haven't lived their whole lives together. But sometimes people are a little wary. They think I've been looking for one cat, adopting two cats or two of any type of animal could be overwhelming. But I actually think bonded pairs in some ways are almost easier than adopting a single animal, because they will keep each other company. They will provide each other with support. Obviously, you are going to love your pet and you are going to take excellent care of them. But knowing that they also have that extra support system of a bonded buddy is going to give them that much more of a step up when they meet their new family, when they move into a new home. It's going to make them feel more comfortable, and it's going to give you a little extra peace of mind that if you have to stay an extra half an hour late at work, you know what? They're not bored. They're there with each other. And I think Lilibet and Nugget are wonderful examples of that. And just seeing how they've thrived and come out of their shells at the AWLA, having each other side by side, just shows how great bonded pairs can be.
Mm-hmm. Well, and clearly they're bonded with each other. I want to know, though, if you already have cats or other pets in the family, should you maybe hesitate on getting a bonded pair and maybe go for the single pet? Does a bonded pair work well with other animals already in the home?
You know, we say that every animal is an individual, and I guess I should say every bonded pair is an individual too, because it really depends on those specific animals, what we know about them, and how they have shown us to interact with each other and other animals. What our staff definitely wants to do, if you have another pet in the home, no matter what, is provide you with some guidance on how to introduce your pet at home to your pet who you are looking to adopt, just to set everybody up for success. With cats, that tends to be kind of slow introductions. It may be, if you have the space, keeping your resident cat versus your newly adopted cat or cats in different spaces. It might be that a door is closed between them to start with, and then maybe there's something like a gate. I know I've seen very adorable pictures of new cats in their new homes with a door in between them, and you see a resident cat's paw just slipping under the door because they're so interested in meeting their new family member. So every animal, like I said, is different, and it's going to be a little different for all of them, but we want to try and provide you with some guidance to start that relationship right. And then from there, hopefully you'll have a new group of 3, or if you have more cats at home, 4 or 5.
Yes, well, that's great. So we just met a bonded pair. Our next pet, tell us a little bit about her.
Yes, so this is Tessie. Tessie is currently in one of our foster homes, and she is doing fantastically there. It's kind of sad, actually, because I hadn't met Tessie until I went to her foster home to meet her and interview with her foster, and I was just amazed at how fantastically she was doing. You know, she had gone into the foster home. She wasn't feeling her best. She was a little down. Her health wasn't great, and so I was expecting maybe that she was going to hide from me. But as soon as I came in, she came right up to meet me. She has all kinds of tricks that her foster has been teaching her, and she is just the most beautiful tortoise shell. So I feel like I'm spoiling it without showing a picture. You really need to see Tessie first, and then we can talk a little bit more about how wonderful she is.
So this is Tessie. Tessie is a 10-year-old female, and she's a tortie mix, I think. I'm not sure exactly what the rest of that is, whether it's playing with the wand or her laser or her pipe cleaners. She just does it all, and she's really treat motivated. What do we got? What do we got? So the one thing she can do is high five for everybody. One more time, high five. Good girl. Tessie is really loving. She likes to cuddle at night and cuddle in the morning. She loves head scritches. And you might see occasional tummy scratch. She's not opposed to that. Here's her getting a little brush massage. Right, girl? Tessie is the kind of girl that would probably do best in a quieter home. older kids, if the family happen to have kids. She doesn't like a whole lot of commotion and noise, but I think she might do well with a buddy, another cat buddy. So if you want to come visit Tessie, my door is always open. If you want to schedule a time, please reach out to the Animal Welfare League of Alexandria at adopt@alexandriaanimals.org and get a hold of the staff there, and we can schedule a time to come visit Tessie. She's really a lovely girl that would make a great addition to your home or family.
Oh, Tessie seemed very relaxed in comparison to a little bit Nugget, who were more in the face of the camera. She was just laid back. As we heard, she will probably do better in a quieter, calmer environment. Tell us a little bit about the needs of a cat like that. How is she a little bit older, or does she get nervous easily? Does she have anxiety?
So that was Tessie's awesome foster we met, who was talking about her, and he has done such a great job working with her. She's been in his home for several months now. As you mentioned, she is a little bit older. She's 10 years old, and I had thought that I was going to see a cat who was a little bit more of, a couch potato type cat. And so when I came in and saw her doing all of her tricks and racing around, she was so excited. Somebody on your Facebook comments mentioned she knew what that sound was, and she definitely does. She's very food motivated, but it was not what I'd expect to see from what you call a senior cat. She definitely is loving life. She's doing fantastic in foster. And she may be looking for a home that's a little bit quieter, and that's more just based on her personality. I think, there's some of us that are introverts and some of us that are extroverts, and Tessie's maybe a little bit more introvert. But just like us introverts, as I myself would say, we all find our people and we really bond deeply with them and we connect with them. She's doing great with her foster, and I think she's just going to do equally as well with her new family. In the meantime, she's such a beautiful girl. I mean, her tortoiseshell coloring is spectacular. She's very sweet. She loves to cuddle, which you don't necessarily see in all cats. So I think somebody who's looking for a sweet, loving, dedicated cat who will do a lot for some treats is going to find a fantastic home with Tessie.
Yeah, and she was gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. And I know somebody else on your Facebook page mentioned that her high five is a great party trick. I actually got a couple shots of that because it's just so cute. And I made a little highlight reel if we want to show that off.
Yeah, let's show that real quick.
Good girl. No. You gotta be patient. Okay. Come over here. Look over here. High five. No. Good girl. Good girl. One more time. High five. Good girl. You did so good.
She's so clever.
She is. And so her foster was using something called clicker training. For those of you who might be familiar with it, a lot of people think about that in terms of dog training, and it certainly is something that we do with dogs at the AWLA, but it's something that can be used for a lot of animals, especially our smart animals like our cats. We use it with our rabbits at the AWLA, and even guinea pigs. And there's different things that you can teach them. First and foremost is just kind of sociability, expecting that clicker training is going to get them treats, and so they're more interested in interacting with people. But as we saw with Tessie, you can learn cool tricks like high five, which she'll definitely be using at parties in her future household. And it's things like that that just go to show how important a foster program is. We have a lot of animals at the AWLA, and they find their homes from there, and they do great. But some animals, for whatever reason, just don't thrive in the shelter environment. Tessie was one of them, but once she was in a foster home with her awesome foster, as we call them, she just really came out of her shell. She's learning so much, and it's just going to bring even more with her to her new home. So we're so grateful for all our amazing fosters, and for everybody who might be interested in fostering with us as well. We're always looking for people who can help animals like Tessie have that amazing and life-changing experience.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, if you want to, adopt from a foster, or if you want to become a foster, where do people go to sign up for that?
So first, if you're looking to adopt from foster like Tessie, we just want to make an appointment for you to schedule time with the foster directly, whether it's a virtual appointment in their household. It's a little different depending on all of the animals and all of the fosters, but you can email us at adopt@alexandriaanimals.org or call us at 703-746-4774. And then if you're interested in being a foster, we are always welcoming new fosters. We have all kinds of animals who are looking for all kinds of wonderful homes, even if they are temporary. And we have a whole webpage about it where you can find out more information and sign up for our orientation. It's alexandriaanimals.org/foster.
Great. All right, so we have one more pair that we are going to meet. Intro briefly who we're about to see.
Yes. So another bonded pair. Like I said, we had bonded kitties before, but you can have bonded pairs of all types of animals. And this is Addison and Carol. They're a bonded pair of bunnies who actually have spent their entire lives together. They're litter mates, and they're looking for their new family together. They're just the cutest. And I know I keep saying it, but they all are. So we'll have to see the pictures to believe it.
Hi everyone, so these are our friends Addison and Carol. They are the very definition of a bonded pair. They're best friends who do everything together. They'll usually play together, eat together, and like to even sometimes come up and cuddle with you at the same time as well. In case you wonder how we can tell them apart, well, Carol has this really cute little stripe on the back of her, and that's how you can tell who's who. Both of them are 5 months old. And they really love, spending time with people. They, have been around people a bit, so they really like that. Both of them are very playful with each other. And, one of the perks of having a bonded pair is that they can keep each other company. So you don't really have to worry about, when you go out for a while and stuff, they'll, probably keep each other entertained and out of trouble. As you can see, they really enjoy, people. Even though they're very bonded to each other, they're always ready to share their love with someone else. As you can see here, one of the things they have is a little pan that holds their hay and newspaper, so they can use it as a litter box, or they can use it to just hang it out in. And one of the other perks of having rabbits is that they love eating also fresh vegetables in addition to their Timothy hay, which means that, it gets you to eat fresh veggies too, so that's an added perk. Both of them have an adopted forward, which means their adoption fee was paid by a very generous donor. So that means that they are all set to go to their new home.
Very cute. Very small.
Yes, so those girls are 5 months old. They were actually born with us at the AWLA about 5 months ago. So when I say they've lived together their entire lives, they truly have. And one of the great things that we know, because they were born with us, they were in foster for several months as they were growing big enough to be available for adoption, is they have also always lived with people. So they're very social. You could see them hopping around, my colleague Carolina, having a grand old time. Some animals, especially rabbits and guinea pigs, they may not be as socialized to people. They may not have had those opportunities, but Carol and Addison are not those bunnies. They're just as great with people as they are with each other, and they are just so funny. My favorite thing is when we get photos from our volunteers or when they were in foster, showing the two of them just lying a little bit apart from each other and doing exactly the same thing. They are almost twins, and it's the cutest thing to see how much they love each other and how comfortable they are with each other.
Mm-hmm. And so earlier we met a bonded pair of cats. Does the way a bonded pair of cats or dogs, how does that compare to the way a bonded pair of rabbits? How do they interact in comparison to each other? Is it similar, or is it a little bit different because they're different species?
That's a great question. And I think the important thing to talk about with bonding is, we describe it in a very easy way as they're best friends, but it's more than best friends. It's truly a companion that you can't imagine living your life without. And so for all of these animals, no matter how they came together, no matter their ages, no matter how long they've been together, the idea is that we know that they don't want to go to a new home alone. They truly can't succeed without that best friend. And so, like I mentioned, every animal is different, but the idea of bonding is truly that they are going to be most successful together. They truly want to live together for the rest of their lives together. And they're really excited to meet their new family and find their new home and find their space in the world together. So in that way, we know Lilibet and Nugget are going to be most successful and are going to be thrilled to find their family together. And the same goes for Carol and Addison.
Great. And again, adoption fees are paid for all of these animals. Gina, that is all the videos that we have for tonight. So let's just overview again the Home for the PAWLIDAYS event, and then we can also speak about the upcoming pet pantry.
Yes, so again, Home for the PAWLIDAYS, sponsored by Priority Automotive, who are just as excited as we are about having all of our adoptable animals find homes for the PAWLIDAYS. So through December 31st, adoption fees are waived on all animals 6 months and older. Just schedule an appointment at alexandriaanimals.org/adopt-by-appointment to meet all our amazing adoptables. And then with the PAWLIDAY season coming up, we want to make sure that we're doing what we can for all of the animals and their people in the community. So on December 24th, for pet owners who maybe could use a bit of a helping paw, we have our Pet Pantry PAWLIDAY delivery event. So there we go. We are helping make pets' wishes come true across the city of Alexandria. Our Pet Pantry is delivering to pet owners who maybe are looking for a little extra special treat for their pets this year. And we're delivering pet food and pet supplies. There was that link, alexandriaanimals.org/pet delivery, where you can learn more and register if you are looking for a delivery for your pet this year.
Awesome. Some great events coming up. And I know it is only December 7th, but the month is going to fly by. Events coming up on Christmas Eve. The adoption fees are waived through the 31st, which, again, it sounds like a long time, but it's going to go by really quickly. So set up your adoption appointments, alexandriaanimals.org/adopt. Gina, would you like to leave us with one last little token?
I will just say that I think you could make my and every single animal's in our care holiday by helping them find a wonderful home this year. So I hope you'll take a look, alexandriaanimals.org/adopt. There are so many wonderful homes out there, and we have amazing animals for everyone. So we look forward to seeing you this month.
Great. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for being here tonight. It was great doing the show with you again. It has been a while, and it was very refreshing. And until next time, be the good news in someone's life.